Big tech bounces, but hot inflation hits bonds, bullion, and Bitcoin. By Tyler Durden. Tuesday, March 12, 2024, 3 p.m. It seems break-evens were onto something. Source: Bloomberg. This morning's CPI was not at all what the narrative peddlers wanted to see, and that sent rate cut expectations tumbling. Source: Bloomberg. And the timing of the first cut extended. May is now off the table. Source: Bloomberg. Treasury yields were higher across the board with very little spread across the curve, up around 6 bps on the day. Source: Bloomberg. Of course, higher inflation, less dovishness and stirs, higher bond yields are not a good sign for stocks, but that would be in a normal world. But as we highlighted overnight, this market was priced for worse, and so Nasdaq, S&P, and the Dow all surged higher along with bond yields. Source: Bloomberg. Just like it has been for months. Source: Bloomberg. Small caps did suffer, but all the other U.S. majors were up large with Nasdaq leading. Mag 7 stocks bounced strongly to pre-payrolls levels. Source: Bloomberg. The pre-CPI anxiety priced into VIX was immediately eviscerated. Source: Bloomberg. The dollar spiked higher on the CPI data but faded back some gains. Source: Bloomberg. Bitcoin ended lower on the day, but well off its lows after puking down to yesterday's lows and bouncing off $69,000. Source: Bloomberg. Today saw the third largest BTC ETF volume since inception. Source: Bloomberg. But once again, we saw huge net inflows yesterday, over $500 million. Source: Bloomberg. Gold was clubbed like a baby seal, also erasing yesterday's gains. Source: Bloomberg. Oil was marginally lower on the day ahead of tonight's API inventory data. Source: Bloomberg. Finally, in case you were under any impression that the Fed is still apolitical. Source: Bloomberg. Powell and his pals are allowing financial conditions to be at their loosest/easiest since before the Fed began tightening, and doing very little, if anything, to push back against that market-driven narrative. How do you think this ends? And then there's this. 4 years ago today, it all started to go pear-shaped. 12-68870. More market stories on Zero Hedge. Boeing whistleblower found dead in a truck from self-inflicted gunshot wound. Inflation hot. Consumer prices hit new record high, up 19% since Bidenomics began.